there's a part of me that looks at this and goes, oh man, I hate that South America are playing against each other on the first day in the first game. They're going to send someone to the lower bracket. But at the same time, I'm like, we have watched them throughout the entire regular season. Freddie and I, we were there. We saw every moment, every triumph, and every heartbreak. So to get to bring you that story today is also a bit of an honor in and of itself.
Yeah, this is the opportunity for Atrix to face their demons. They've beaten Furia on multiple occasions. Not MIBR. They haven't beaten MIBR. So if there's ever time to do it, it is here. Sophia, the young buck, just flashed and put down. A big trade coming out from Bokor. But MIBR, they're here, they're prepped, they're ready. Olga's taking all of the attention, and Younger is going to go unchecked. Younger fighting forward, whiffing her shots a lot, and I don't understand how Atrix still have 3 players alive, and I don't understand how Atrix might win this round.
Vibes. I don't know, man. I wasn't
We've already seen that today.
Yeah, we have, actually. I wasn't sure they were even going to check Car, but there you go. Gabby brings it to a 2 versus 2. And now it really is anyone's game. Gabby up on the catwalk now has been reinforced by Poppins. That flash.
What a flash.
That Kobe'd from the other side of the play. That Kobe'd from Mirage.
Little's lining up the server. Known for her AWPing abilities, why not do it with a pistol? Yeah. That is actually such a statement of intent. And especially in this matchup, I would go as far as say that I actually rate, in recent form, Little's over Younger. Shoot me.
That is a
Shoot me.
bold
Shoot me.
statement. Ooh, okay, okay.
Dust2 is the perfect playground for us to observe that.
Well, this is the thing, because one of my big talking points coming into the regular season was that LyttleZ was looking a little bit inconsistent, and she actually showed up really nicely in the regular season. So I look forward to seeing how that plays out. Younger showed her mettle against Car as well, who, I mean, we've always touted Car as one of the, if not the best AWPer in the South American region. So it's been really cool to see the resurgence here. But now, with that first pistol going the way of Atrix, it means that they've got all that extra money to deal with, or to play with, rather. And MIBR find themselves in a slightly more disadvantageous position. I will say it was really cool. We panned to Poppins, and after that round, her nose was in the notebook, man. Yeah. She was getting ready for that next round. She's so on top of it, and that's been a big talking point for us as well. Poppins has really struggled on LAN historically, so unfortunately it looks like, okay, we're only 2 rounds in, but we're hoping that that's not going to be the trend. As 11, the newest player on this roster. Remember, for those that don't know, she replaced Sinan coming into this season, and she has been an upgrade.
Yeah, I think that's an upgrade that people might not appreciate. So 11, just in isolation, was the highest rated player from the regular season in South America.
Yep.
That's crazy, seeing how the season before she was playing on Bounty Hunters. Don't blame me if you don't know that name. And she finished 6th, maybe. Season before that, dead last.
She overtook Lulitin.
Yeah, goes from playing in kind of like a nothing team to being the highest rated player. And also, as much as we did love Sign-On, she didn't bring as much to the plate, I'll be honest. And there's the Atrix Ultras out in the stage.
I love this. That is an... Wait, stop waving it. There we go.
I'm actually going to need some context on that flag because I saw it on social media and I'm just like, I don't know what to read from that.
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't see it and I was trying to look at it and she kept waving it and I was like, God damn it.
But to kind of finish the point off, 11's been, in my opinion, like the missing piece to the puzzle. Like she has elevated this team to new heights and this team, I don't know, I've got a lot of love for Atrix and I really believe in them, and I don't know if that's just code.
Well, it must be said, you know, as much as there's heartbreak for not having Furia here this season, it's fantastic that Atrix have been given this opportunity because some of their players have actually played in Impact LANs before. They've had an opportunity to be on stage and just haven't really had much success.
Yeah, just Bokor a long time ago on Furia. Now she's kind of changed her career a little bit. She's an IGL, and she's also about 20 years. Oh, she's 21 now. She turned 21 after they qualified for the finals. Probably the best birthday present. But yeah, you've got a super young IGL who would have played with Olga on Furia, and we've spoken a lot about Atrix. MIBR, this is obviously Olga's return. And speaking of Olga, actually gets her first kill. It's not going to mean anything in the round, and it's only a, if I'm not mistaken, Mach 10 picked up. But good damage. And Olga, even though she's IGLing, don't don't disillusion yourself in thinking that she can't still shoot back hard.
And this was actually interesting because the first time we saw MIBR on Dust2, I remember we looked at it and we went, Olga's not really putting up the numbers. This is feeling
against
a little bit...
Atrix.
Exactly. Then we saw them on Dust2 against, I believe it was Furia, and it was night and day. Olga went absolutely nuclear. So there leaves a few question marks about what this is going to be. And we had the conversation about, well, maybe she's uncomfortable in the IGL position, and we got to interview her, and she said, no, actually, she's IGL'd before.
A long time ago.
A long time ago, but she's done it. So, oh, Sophia through the fire and the flames gets burnt alive and peppered down as well. And this round has gone off to a horrific start for Atrix, already having lost 2 players. And MIBR, so much control now, every angle covered. Doesn't matter where Atrix pivot. And look where the bomb is at the moment as well. It's so far out towards the doors. They haven't really decided anything. They're still trying to figure out what the mid-round plan is.
Well, the issue is that they've gone for plan A, and that gets thwarted because they try to get out long, and MIBR were already set up in a anti-long pop. Poppin's first kill as well, so a lot of the MIBR players finally getting on the scorecard. Really important to kind of break that barrier early on. So it's a good first 3 rounds from Atrix, but as soon as the rifles come out, MIBR say, hey, we're the favorites, and we're going to say why. And Danny, continuing her LAN form. Danny, the MVP of their most recent LAN win out in Brazil, the Fergie Clutch Finals. She was just so much better than everyone else, and is showing that, not as a star player, as an anchor.
I feel like the MIBR fans are like just as loud as the NIP fans were. This is crazy.
Sorry, not the MIBR fans, Poppin's mom.
Yeah.
just one singular
just one
person.
Yeah. A couple of seasons back, she found some kids and got them to come and like scream with her. So we had like a...
Such a weird statement.
So great, man. It was so great. And it was at last year DreamHack as well. It was just really cool. Just rallying the troops to support her daughter. The things we love to see. But here we go. MIBR have their first round on the board. Oh, Younger tells Sophia to sit down through the smoke. Opening kill, advantage MIBR. Danny just swings.
Okay.
And Bokor also gets sat down. A lot of sitting.
A lot of people being put down on the floor. Danny is just, I was talking about Marie and her development since season 7. Danny goes into that conversation as probably one of the players who's developed the most, gone from struggling in Dallas to now fighting for potentially the whole MVP. A 2 versus 5 turned into 2 versus 3 for Atrix. Even though it's been a round filled of success,
oh God, what are we doing?
MIBR are overplaying their hand.
Oh, Poppins caught out past the smoke, getting a little bit too aggressive there, shut down by LyttleZ. Between her and 11 have made this was what, a 2v4? 2v5. And they've brought it back to a more than doable situation. But to MIBR's credit, they now play a little bit more passive. Just under 30 seconds remaining. They can whittle this time down a bit more, then they may still be in a chance to salvage the round, at least somewhat. 11 steps into the flames, but Olga gets the kill onto LyttleZ. She'll get traded out and it leaves it to a 1v1, but it's 11 that's still alive. 1 bullet to do it, but it won't be hers. It'll be Gabby to clutch the round for MIBR.
Unlucky there on 11. She snaps onto Olga in CT. Very good awareness, but then just doesn't quite grasp the right thought of where Gabby will be positioned. But regardless though, a 2 versus 5 and MIBR only survive with 1 player. That's a really valiant effort. And I said, I rate LyttleZ over than Younger. You looked at me just kind of like, Brody, what have you been up to today? And right there is just a prime example of why I think that. But hey, MIBR, they stay true and tested and will go on to a second round.
Be curious to see what happens with the T-side orbs, because you know Newt gave us a little bit of a stat drop a bit earlier on. I believe it was MIBR, he said, don't bring out the AWP on the T side terribly often. So they're going to want to try and get as much out of it in this first half as humanly possible. We haven't really seen too much of it just yet. Looks like this is a timeout as well, and I think it's much needed. Take a moment, take a breath. Atrix had a really solid start to the map, but as you said, as soon as those as soon as those rifles were picked up by MIBR, things started, the winds of change began to be heard. It's also really cool just checking all the teams with their little strat books and their pages and like checking. And like, it's such a cool thing. It's such a CS thing as well. You don't really see it too often in other games.
I was when I was flying to this event, I was in Japan. So I was flying from Japan to Amsterdam. And I was next to one of the guys who's doing Overwatch, Ans, who's who's won an Overwatch League Cup. So firstly, just a crazy coincidence. But yeah, he was asking, he was like, when you're prepping a game, isn't it literally just like each round you do this? And I was like, oh yeah, like it's, you know, maybe not round by round, but there'll be a pretty set plan for if this happens, you do this, and if this happens, you call this. And he was just like, it's mental. Like that's just not a thing in Overwatch, for instance. Yeah,
well, to be fair, Overwatch is chaos incarnate. Also, folks, Freddy has told that story about 4 times over the last 2 days.
Because it's really cool. it's like, I mean, the coincidence is uncanny.
If you guys could have seen my face when he started, I was in Japan and on the flight, and I was just going, oh my God. Because the funny thing is, I've heard the story every time I've always...
Because you're always around. You're just kind of following me.
I am, rather. Yeah.
A fan.
I'm like a capybara.
Oh.
All right, so that round goes as predicted.
Almost a bomb down. There was a little cheeky, we're going to go out long and you're going to plant the bomb B. Close, but no cigar.
Ooh, going for the AWP battle. Not quite getting that double doors kill. We saw some nasty ones during the regular season, but this time around, not going to be the case.
This is actually the first time that we're seeing Atrix maybe properly kind of take a slower default through underpass, take mid control. They've been putting a lot of pressure on long in the gun rounds. It hasn't actually rewarded them, so they're changing up their beginning of their default, and they're going to get this space. The issue is it's going to cost them a lot of their utility, and they've also taken damage on Boko, on Sophia. So MIBR seem right now very content to allow Atrix to take that control, and then pounce when Atrix start to make a move onto a bomb site.
I think what's really important with this is allowing that space. It also means so Atrix don't know that they're being allowed the space, so they have to invest that utility. Look at that. That's their second to last
got one flash left.
That's it, right? So they've used so much to garner very little space when you think about it. Okay, they've got a little bit of information that they can potentially play off of, but they haven't actually taken much. Now, with that going out, no flashes, only 1 smoke left.
Younger, look at where she's positioning. Yeah, so Danny has to come over and help her because Younger was fixated on long, but because Danny's relieved her of her position, she can now focus on this short take.
Molotov doesn't connect onto anything meaningfully, but the counter Molotov gets some chip damage.
What?
Oh, Younger. Shot missed. Olga has to come up huge, but can only get 1. Sophia is a revelation in this exec. I say that very specifically because it's been a bit of a rough one for her. That's her first 2 kills of the map. Regian's still sitting on 0, Boko only on 1. You look at the scoreline and you start to think, well, how do they have 3 rounds? A lot of it has come down to LyttleZ and 11, whereas MIBR seem to be firing on most of their cylinders, and their cylinders just keep going, man. Just continuing to be a problem despite all the space taken, despite the bomb being planted between Poppins and Gabby. They just steal it straight back.
What a crazy retake from MIBR, but what just such a disappointing post-plant from Atrix. Sophia, first 2 kills of the game, as you mentioned. I was actually very cautious when I was watching her have that slow start because in their most recent LAN, the first LAN for this team, Atrix, in Brazil, the Fergie LAN, she had a really, really, really rough performance. And that comes from the online season, where for the last 2 seasons, we've been going Sophia this, Sophia that, Sophia this. So to see her go from that to LAN and, like, you know, the drop-off was huge. I'm thinking, okay, finally, first round where she's putting pen to paper. And then their post-plants is LyttleZ just peeking with an AWP into a disadvantaged position, players out of position, no one actually playing in coverage. Like, it's a great retake from MIBR, but that feels just a monumental slip-up from Atrix in a best of 1 where they can't afford that.
So I was seeing like a little squishy thing on the desk there, and I was wondering what on earth that was. It looked very cute, very squishable. Hero AK on 11 now.
Oh
my God, Boko. The fadeaway Tech 9 shot tries to double up, but Poppins won't allow it. And okay.
A bit crazy.
I mean, it was Boko, to be fair. There was a world, not this one, but somewhere in an alternate universe. Perhaps.
That's Olga down though. She's not had the like kind of best of games. You know, that last round only gets one in a position where you kind of think she'd get a multi.
You say that she's still like second to top frag.
She was the second best player in the world 2 years ago.
Poppins looking to beat the allegations. Because as we've said before, she has been a little bit disappointing on LAN in the past. So I'm hoping that we'll start to see a little bit more out of her because she is incredible in the online stages. They've given over a rifle and she's taken it straight back, actually. They'll recover it, but 2 rifles versus 4 very strong players and a Poppins that's on track for the ace. And she holds this long angle, looking to see if she can spot someone, but they're up on the bridge, so Danny will get at least 1, and in fact make it a second. Between Danny and Poppins, again, they keep that ball rolling for MIBR.
Danny was seriously the player that I was hoping was going to step up in this event. I mentioned it, she struggled in Dallas, and then in the last 2 LANs against Furia and against other teams in Brazil, she's been the best player in the whole tournament. So to go from that kind of juxtaposition of struggling on the international stage, then ridiculously owning on the regional stage in LAN, which was a kind of the key feature. I'm really glad to see her succeeding here. But Younger and LyttleZ head-to-head once more. They doth do battle, but LyttleZ just coming out on top.
You know, I'm starting to see the light. I'm starting to see the light.
You called me crazy.
I always
called me crazy.
That's just your default setting, man.
It's just like, Freddie says something, crazy.
Yep, until proven otherwise. You know, innocent until proven guilty, crazy until proven otherwise. It's a good opener, shutting down Younger like that. I mean, Younger has been a pretty important piece for the MIB roster, just kind of in general. MIBR, rather. Oh, Poppins feeling that confidence, but unfortunately gets baited out into the open, so LyttleZ can get yet 1 more kill. Olga again trying to be that anchor piece, but again only good for 1 before being traded. Now Gabby, the best she's going to be able to do is get a little bit of damage here, but LyttleZ is still waiting. Oh my god, somehow baits out the shot. Got to get a utility here. There's a world. Molotov to try and flush her out into the open for the shot. Misses, pistol out. Oh my god. She's done it. She's taken out.
Wait, they've left the bomb site.
I don't think they were expecting to lose their AWPer.
11's on 12 HP.
And there is a kit as well, so there's a world. She's got a flash. It's not a smoke, so it's still very much deal with Ubble, and it is planted for them, and as time now ticks away, it's just impossible. But a little bit of extra damage from Gabby.
They all die.
Gabby, Jesus.
That's so Gabby also dies, but it doesn't matter. Hey, Marie.
Okay, stop waving. No! I'm never going to get to see that flag, man.
Don't know what the kind of... yeah, anyways, we move. Gabby goes down with the ship there. So what? She got 4 kills. If you take a look at the money and compare, Gabby ended that round on, I think, 10+K. So she has all the money in the world. Take a look over at Atrix. Not going to have the AWP out. There's 3 Galils. That damage was imperative, and it kind of puts a stain on this next round, despite Atrix looking like they came into that round, and that should have been 4 players, 5 players staying alive. But instead, they're now down in the dumps economically.
Gabby's having such a crazy... She's 10-2, bro!
She's the B anchor, and they haven't gone B. I don't actually know how she's got that many kills.
It's just Gabby, man. Just Gabby things. It's so funny though, because when a B anchor doesn't get kills, we all just go, oh yeah, well, you're a B anchor. I present to you for your critique.
Yeah,
Gabby.
I mean, this is. I was talking about FlyQuest. They have the rocks of the anchor and the foundations. MIBR also live up to that. And Poppins, unfortunately, now leaves Gabby on an island.
Well, Gabby's been queen of this castle for so long, but the utility barrage, she struggles to maintain that space, and the B site capitulates, and MIBR back away. There's no world in which they retake this, so live to fight another day.
Not sure really what happened in middle though, because we switched to her as Poppins died, but it felt like Poppins got isolated a little bit too easily. In previous rounds, Poppins has been playing with Olga, so Olga's moved around to A, and they've been playing a double mid setup. So Olga wasn't there, and Poppins just gets isolated for free. So that round for Atrix, sure, they've conditioned towards A, and then they do switch it up there and change the narrative towards B, but it felt like Poppins was really just caught lackadaisical there. And so because of that, we're going into this 5-5 even game.
It's actually a little nuts how back and forth this is at the moment.
Everyone was sleeping on Atrix. I'm gonna, like, it's 5-5. You know, this could end 13-5. But everyone's just been like, MIBR is gonna win. It's not gonna be competitive.
Hang on, did anyone actually say it wouldn't be competitive?
I think I heard the words.
I think you're spinning a narrative here, Freddie.
I'm paraphrasing.
Freddie putting words in literally everyone's mouths, just for the drama.
There was definitely they don't have a chance. That was said.
Whoever said that was a clown. Was it Mike? I can believe it was Mike. I was about to say little do we... No, everyone knows. Freddie's a bit of a stirrer. He's in there stirring the pot.
I'm just creating my narrative.
Quietly in the
Anyways,
corner.
we digress.
I mean, standard. We've had to learn how to podcast with some of the...
South America, they throw everything at us. Oh, they throw everything. They really test us.
All right, back in we go. 2 rounds left in this half. Can one of them go in with a lead?
Big fight. This will be a big fight on long.
Oh, that's big, Util. Good smokes to kind of shut down a lot of those sight lines. Could keep Bokor alive just a little bit longer. Gets spotted out. Catches Olga while trying to use utility. Can call the rest of her teammates. Spams through the smoke. Not quite connecting. 11 will follow it up. And Poppins on the edge of the smoke gets one and actually is able to slip away. Not able to even out the numbers, but gets one back. Causes a little bit of bleeding for Atrix and is able to survive. Now that stemmed the tide ever so slightly and it's bled out a lot of utility on both sides.
Bokor getting out early on long was everything because MIBR just didn't realize someone was already out. And they do so much damage with the following utility, but only 1 kill. So it's a player advantage for Atrix, but Gabby is mobilizing. She's left her post of that B bomb side because she's nestled herself into tunnels alongside that. Poppins and Younger are walking up mid. The issue is, Gabby has seen nothing. She checked tunnels and comms over to her teammates. B is clear. Guess what? 10 seconds after that, Atrix and tunnels about to head onto the B bomb site. But the confusion, Sophia's on A. Sophia's walked up long and has said to them, A's clear, come A.
And
they're stacking B. Guess what? All 3 of them are long.
And the pivot is actually...
There's 25
crazy.
seconds.
The mind games are out of this world. Footsteps heard. Sophia catches Poppins, trying to make her way up long. Younger will trade it back, but now the reinforcements from Atrix are making their way in on towards the site. The last vestiges of Util to come through. 1 Molotov is all that remains, but they should be able to get this bomb planted. HE out, doesn't get the kill, but chips 11 down dangerously with 2 players left. It's certainly doable. Both players have kits as well. So timing is not as much of a problem. It's all going to come down to the pacing of this retake. Gabby for 1, but does get traded out in the final kill. Of course, it's 11 to bring Atrix back into a lead.
An absolutely mental round. Almost overcooked by Atrix. Sophia gets the kill on Poppins on long. It's like, wait, how did you get there? And then it's just like, wait, I've had another one on long? Like, what's going on? But missed utility there is the reason why MIBR lose that round. 11 has a, sorry, not 11, Younger has a T-side Molo, throws it to neither bomb, and a lands goose. If that Molo had landed, 11 wouldn't have been able to plant the bomb, and this would be a 6-5 round to MIBR, and Atrix would maybe bad money. So missed utility is everything. We head into the final round, the half now, and Reggiane, outside of the B tunnels, has spotted Younger, and now is just biding her time, doesn't want to peek into her crosshairs, but then finally does, and that's just a freebie for the MIBR sniper.
It feels like Younger cosplaying Car a little bit here. I mean, that's one of the things that makes Car such a standout is how aggressive she is. Well, it's going to be Younger this time, putting the region on her back. I debated saying that, considering they're both Brazilian teams, but here we are. Danny with a spray down onto a full blind 11, gives MIBR yet 1 more player alive, and we're staring down the barrel of an even score at the half. But it ain't over just yet. Sophia's made her way up long now. Great flash. Allows her to get 1 before she's put down, but unfortunately now we're in a 4 versus 2. A near miracle is what's needed. 40 seconds remain for Atrix to start making their way through. LyttleZ is bleeding, damaged. And Younga is just waiting, posted up perfectly. The flash to connect, her shot doesn't land, but she's able to survive. Bokor gets the kill onto Younga. Might have an opening here. The bomb's crossed over, or the bomb was lost rather, over on this side. So they should be able to recover it. LyttleZ has brought it to a 2 versus 2. With so little HP, she's keeping them hotly contesting. Now they've still got one flash available, but the Molotov buys that extra little bit of time for MIBR, down to 7 seconds remaining, and the bomb will at least get planted. LyttleZ holding the line, holding that fire, allows the bomb to go down, and in a 2 versus 1, Olga cannot make it happen. What a clutch to end out the half. You scream, let them hear you.
No experience? No problem. Atrix are, without a shadow of a doubt, the least experienced team at this ESL Impact Finals. And yet, in their regional derby against maybe one of the most experienced teams at this event, Atrix lead 7-5 after a ridiculous and jaw-dropping 2 versus 4.
The really fun part, we spoke about how they played in the regular season in Dust2, and we're like, oh, it was such a long time ago. It was the exact same scoreline. 7-5 in favor of Atrix. Like, deja vu all over again, and we know how that map ended. 13-11 in favor of MIBR. So this is the half where we could start to see the magic happen. We'll see what kicks off with the pistol. That's going to be a bit of a, what's your favorite phrase? A litmus test?
Temperature check. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's going to be a split towards the B-bomb site, and unfortunately, Sophia is on an iceberg by herself. Bokor's going to try as she might to support, but these dual Berettas, they're going to eventually get mowed down. And this pistol round, surely it goes in favor of MIBR. Surely they don't lose another player disadvantage.
Oh, pretty. Playing a dangerous game there, but it is the B-bomb site. It is notorious for being incredibly difficult to retake, so going to take some fancy footwork from the Atrix ladies if they're going to turn this one back into their favor with a numbers disadvantage on top of everything else. 11 and Regian together are making it doable. Younger is caught in a really odd spot. What a shot from LyttleZ! All right, make me eat my words, why don't you? What a little bit of teamwork there from them to end off with a nasty shot.
What was that from LyttleZ? The 180. One hit away from death. She was on like 15 HP. MIBR, I don't know if they've known what's just hit them. Want to reiterate, Atrix have never beaten MIBR in the last kind of couple months, right? It's always been Atrix, they could beat Furia. They've done it in multiple occasions, and on this map, actually. But they haven't been able to get past that kind of demon of MIBR, and a second pistol round win delivered by yours truly, LyttleZ, who was also the main reason why that 2v4 was won at the end of the first half. She's on the orb in the first round and is just battering them. Left, right, good night, MIBR. This is supposed to be Olga's swan song, and instead, it's looking pretty scary.
The crazy part is that the two of them in tandem, full blind. Okay, yes, it's an anti-eco for the you know, watching. But either way, that is a great way to crack this round open and just keep that tide ticking over for Atrix. Up now, this will put them to 9-5, one away from double digits, and this is a great resurgence from this roster. We weren't sure what to expect. We knew that this was a strong team. They wouldn't be here if they weren't a strong team. They wouldn't have been taking down the likes of Furia and having really close matches against MIBR if they weren't an incredible team in their own right. But they have really shown how much they deserve to be here so far. Can they follow up that momentum? Well,
flawless.
Yep.
That's actually such an important round for Atrix to be winning because it's an anti-force, so they win the conversion, and not only that, are able to break away further, but put MIBR onto an eco. On Dust2 and on the CT side, Atrix are going to have a lot of rounds to the good, and also all the momentum in their sails. The only player to have played on an ESL Impact LAN in this team was Bokor many years ago on Furia, back over in 2023. So over 2 years ago, she returns leading her own squad at the age of 21 and is about to potentially go one step away from the playoffs.
Now I'm drawing these parallels, and I suppose it's important to note the deviations, because this time around, whereas in the past, what had happened was we go 7-5, Atrix in the lead, MIBR get 4 rounds back-to-back to give them that lead and springboard them back into the series. But this time, it's Atrix that have done this, that have given themselves a huge boon by winning the pistol and the conversion. MIBR back down onto pistols, and this could be the end of the line in this series. We've seen some crazy stuff happen over the course of the day.
Yeah, let's see a first gun round.
When they eventually get there.
Yeah, well, so because the important part in this round for Atrix is keeping it clean. And then on the other side of it, you've got MIBR. Did no damage in the last. How much damage can you do here? Can you get the bomb down? And it seems like not. LyttleZ does get a little bit over-aggressive there with the orb, but that's when Bokor's there to save the day. The 2 versus 4, there was those 2 players right there who won that out, and they're just continuing to punch above their weight. This is double digits for Atrix. This is the difficult part. This is when it gets hard. They're a very inexperienced team, as we were saying. So closing it out could be the hardest part. Do they try and finish the game too quickly? And because of that, will MIBR potentially be able to start snowballing? So this, to me, is the hardest part for Atrix right now.
Maintaining that staying power. That's the call of the day here. Younger not able to get that opener. Great little bit of util that allows that first kill, but it does get traded back. The long control not really finalized just yet, as Poppins is still kind of posturing a little bit here, still hoping someone will walk into her crosshairs, and that's exactly what will happen as the smoke dissipates. She gets both. Danny follows it up with the third, and now LyttleZ is left all alone. We were waiting for the rifles, and we were waiting for Poppins, and both have delivered in this round.
Yeah, massive round coming out from MIBR. It was imperative that they got that one across the line. A little bit fortunate, I'll say, that Poppins randomly sprayed through the smoke as the flash was about to come in. Tags 11, if I'm not mistaken. And as soon as they do that, they play anti-flash because she realizes something's about to happen because they're still hanging around. So I actually like the idea of bringing over what would be a fourth player to go and try retake long, a double pump, which, yeah, would have taken them by surprise, but because 11 was tagged through the smoke, they had to go a little bit too early, a little bit too quickly, and that really played into Poppins' hands. So a massive round coming out from her. It's only 2 kills, but it's so much impact. But LyttleZ, however, will be able to retain the AWP. It gets a bit of damage in the latter end of that round.
Yeah, a lot of damage done there to just try and make it that little bit more expensive going forward. But the most important thing here is that kind of stay of execution. Now Atrix will take a little bit of a timeout. You know, you can't win all those rounds consecutively just to lose the first gun round and feel any sort of comfort or happiness in how that went. So take a moment here to rethink what the strategy might be. I love how, like, he's covering his mouth. Bro, we can't read lips. We also can't speak Portuguese. Yeah. Maybe there's a lot of, like, crowd noise.
Sorry, that's actually crazy that he was like, okay, dude, come on. That's like, come on. Oh, I actually, I'm still getting used to seeing an MIBR without DarkSide. Because he was the coach. So, like, it was the Poppins' younger goddess, DarkSide, who were together for so long. And that's kind of changed up a little bit. So I'm still getting used to seeing Landon with MIBR. But I might not have too long to get used to it. Regardless, Atrix back on the rifles.
I was going to make a bit of a dark joke there, but I thought maybe I'll leave it alone.
A DarkSide joke?
It was going to be something. That's Doff's territory.
Puns and humor. General silliness.
I was never a pun person until Freddy happened to me. And yet, now here I am. I put you to shame sometimes.
BF and AF. Before Freddy and after Freddy.
It's a new way of tracking time. All right, a little bit of a slower start to this one. MIBR having taken advantage of that attack timeout as well. Like, let's think about what changes they might make so that we don't get caught.
I'm looking at mid. I'm looking at Younger. She's staring down the doors. Sophia and Boko. Now with Reggiane. It looks like they want to move, and this is exactly what Younger wants.
I thought for a second that a flash had been thrown, but I'm just tripping. I'm hallucinating. I thought that would be a really good opportunity. Oh, Younger's getting so cheeky with this. Poppins now to play that potential bit of distraction. She pushes through the doors, can't win the fight, and the first 2 deaths in quick succession, and that is the bomb. My God, this round went awry in the blink of an eye. The plan, the walk up, the lack of utility to try and catch them off guard, and it failed miserably.
The new kids are on the block, and they're here to stay. Atrix going to 11, only then 2 rounds away from winning their inaugural game of ESL Impact here in Stockholm. Bombs down. This round's not going to be contested. Gabby and Younger need to cower into the tunnels. They do luckily survive, but it's after time. And as MIBR call another tactical pause, their economy is in shambles. This is nightmare fuel for MIBR. They're playing up against the younger daughters of their region. This is a game where MIBR, they should be winning it. They're more funded. They've got more experience. They're individually players who have accomplished more, and yet Atrix, with only a handful of mighty fans, are making all the noise out in the front, and this Brazilian derby, it sure is delivering.
I love the passion, the excitement. It's one of the things that we love about the region in general, is that even though we're literally on the other side of the globe, the fans have shown up here today.
That's a crazy journey.
Right? It's so far. I mean, it's one thing to go to Dallas, right? I mean, it's still another continent, but it's like kind of...
It's the same premise. Like, it's so far both times.
These are some seriously invested, passionate fans.
When are we going to Brazil for an event, eh?
Come to Brazil.
This is the round, though. Look at the money. Poppins, Tech9, 2 Galils, and the only primary weapons are the one safe. Flashbang's good, but Sophia doesn't even need vision, and 11's there to stem the bleeding regardless. Player advantage. This could be do or die.
Yeah, we're saying come to Brazil. Atrix are saying we're going to start sending MIBR back to Brazil. Setting them on that path. Potentially knocking them to the lower bracket, as MIBR have only been able to pick up 1 round so far in the second half. It has been a dismal performance so far, well below what we expect from this roster. I'm just really glad to see that Poppins is performing. So things we love to see, but unfortunately it just hasn't been enough. There have been too many star moments here from the Atrix roster. Regian's 3 and 9.
Hey. This is her moment. She's going to step up. They're coming onto her bomb site. She's going to mow him down. Never mind. That puts a lot of emphasis now on LyttleZ, but luckily the flank is mobilizing, and the flank throws a spanner in the works. LyttleZ, that's the shot that you can't be missing. A second opportunity gone missing. Boko, her mouse has just flown into the air. What's going on? Olga, it's time for her to save the day. Leading by example, has found the first, but 11 shoots her in the side of the head to complete the 4K and put Atrix, the unlikely squad, with 6 map points to the goods.
Oh, man. Guys, you don't understand how Freddy is losing it. I can see the vein bulging on the side of his head. Like, this is so vindicating, it feels like, for the Atrix fans. Because we were watching, and much like how we felt with Imperial, it was like, we want them to be there. We want Furia to be there because it just makes no sense for them not to be there. But at the same time, the possibility for an Atrix to step up and to have this opportunity in the limelight, and they've taken it with both hands, and they are running full throttle. All right, here we go. Into the final round. Final opportunity. MIBR 6 consecutive rounds is what it's going to take to come back into this spot with a back turned. Oh my god, and Olga can't capitalize, and LyttleZ has put her down.
How is Olga not capitalized upon that? MIBR, they wanted to go to the B bomb site. It looked like they were just going to go straight into it. Sophia blocks them, and now they come into the mid round with lower weaponry, lower utility, and they're just going to have to go back to the B bomb site, but they've got that player disadvantage. They've got no lurks, and these two on B are ready and waiting, and this time, Regian, she's going to get that kill, and she's going to deliver the victory for Atrix.
Utility starts to come out. She's ahead of the flash. She can get the first one onto Poppins. The second one follows up beautifully. Looking for the third, and she gets it! Regian! Regian! The redemption arc! We just mentioned her! The excitement, the thrill. They've done it. They've set MIBR on a path back to Brazil, and they've secured themselves a spot in the next upper bracket game, and the excitement is